Singing News Radio, the voice of Southern gospel music. We have got somebody on the phone with us that you will recognize from Legacy 5 and his video series online, On the Couch with Fouch, talking about Matt Fouch. How you doing, Matt?
Hey, Greg, I'm doing great, man. Thank you so much for having me on, man, and thanks for watching the interviews.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're doing something as if you're not busy enough singing bass for Legacy 5 and doing all these videos to entertain and inform us Southern gospel fans. As if you weren't doing enough, now you're moonlighting as a soloist, like so many folks in Southern gospel are doing these days. But we don't see many bass singers doing that. You're releasing a solo project, is what I'm saying.
Yes. I talked with Scott about it when I first joined the group, and I had been wanting to do one for a while, but it just didn't feel like the right time, and so I put it on the shelf and just forgot about it. And just like last year or so, I just was like, man, I feel like now is the right time to finally bring that back. And it's called Born and Raised, and I'm thrilled that it's finally out there, because these are songs that I was born and raised on, and it's singers and groups that I have spent a lot of time listening to. And I guess you could kind of say they helped me develop, I guess, in a way, into the singer that I am. Okay,
so you've intrigued me now. I need to know at least one or two of the artists and songs that we're talking about.
All right, so, singers like George Yance, Tennessee Ernie Ford, Johnny Cash. Mostly it's lower singers or
that's what I was going to say.
But there is some stuff on there that is some other singers as well that weren't bass singers, of just songs that I really gravitated towards growing up. And I put a song on there that was my mother's favorite song as well, so it's kind of a tribute to my family as well.
That's cool. Why is it that we don't hear more bass singers doing individual stuff? Because I think of George Yance obviously comes to mind. You hear, Tim Riley, just names like that pop up, and everybody loves their sound. Why do you not hear vocalists like that by themselves that often?
Greg, that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I'll tell you this, though. Going into this process, I knew I just couldn't sing low the whole album, because that would it's to me it's cool and it's fun, but I know that for most people it would you would lose their attention pretty quick if you just did the low stuff the whole album. So I'll just speak from my experience. I felt very vulnerable vocally doing this album, because I was singing in a range that I've not always been the most comfortable singing in, and singing a little higher than sometimes that I normally do, and so that's kind of scary, and I feel like that vulnerability actually paid off in this instance.
I find that most times when I do allow myself to be vulnerable, whether it's in sharing something personal or in trying something a little different, it generally ends up coming off pretty well. It's something that we don't want to do, but when you go ahead and do it, it works out okay.
Absolutely. And I think that concept applies in a ton of different areas in life. And it even applies in sharing the gospel.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get out of your comfort zone, and because at times it is uncomfortable to, especially when the first few times that you do it, it's uncomfortable, talking to someone and just asking them, hey, what's your relationship with Christ like?
Right.
Or do you have a relationship with Christ? And that's kind of, uncomfortable.
All right, cool deal. Matt Fouch with us on the phone. You've seen him on the internet, On the Couch with Fouch, where he interviews all the different Southern gospel singers and personalities. And, of course, bass singer for Legacy 5, and now he has done a solo recording called Born and Raised. More information available about that at mattfouch.com. For those of you who are spelling challenged like myself at times, let me spell that out for you. It's Matt, M-A-T-T, Fouch, F-O-U-C-H.com. Matt, thanks for calling in, buddy.
Thank you, Greg.